What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're the full Chikorita Evolution team. This is the last evolution team for the Gen 2 starters. I've done Cyndaquil and I've done Totodile. So we got 2 Chikoritas, 2 Bayleafs, I can't believe it, and 2 Meganiums. Now, the only other starters that I haven't done, they are the Gen 5 starters and Gen 7 starters. They're the only ones that I haven't done. Obviously, I'm going to have to wait to, Generation 9 to do those ones. So let's get into these battles anyway. This is a battle against Köttmeistern, and we got a Mareep lead. And with my starter, I'll be going off with Meganium this time. Normally I'd lead with Chikorita, but this time I thought I'd go on the offensive. And this is a Choice Specs Meganium. I've got on this one Ancient Power, Frenzy Plant, Giga Drain, and Hyper Beam. It's very, very limited on the special side. Of course, as a grass side Pokemon. I've got Max Health and Max Special Attack, and I've got Modest Nature with a Choice Spec. So it's pretty hard. So popping that Frenzy Plant there on the Mareep, hoping it's not a Scumbag Focus Sash, and it's not. That is the end of Mareep. So that's going to give me a nice little early start. Now, I've got 2 battles in today's video. I know it's quite a long video, but both the battles were very, very long, exactly like something else. Now, we've got a Fluffy coming in. It's going to go for a charge, boosting its next electric-type move and its special defense by 1 stage. But I'm more thinking they're using that to make it, tanky on the special side. So, Fluffy is going to get hit hard by the Frenzy Plant. It just hangs on there, and now it's going to go for another charge. So, it's got 2 charges. Now, since they use 2 charges in a row, that tells me they've got rest, or some way of recovering, right? Otherwise, the next electric-type move, it's probably going to do no damage at all, right? And it's definitely got its investment in bulk. So Fluffy's going to get all of its health back there. It doesn't have I was thinking, does it have a Chesto Berry or does it have rest and sleep top? But it turns out it's got a Chesto Berry instead. So I'm going to go for another Frenzy Plant. It's still doing very good damage. I may as well go for it. And now it's going to go for a Charge Beam. So it's a rest, charge beam set. I've ran multiple sets like this in the past. They're pretty fun to actually run them because you get bulky with charge, and then charge powers up charge beam. Then essentially it's like a snowball because then charge beam can boost itself with a special attack boost. Pretty fun. So I'm gonna go for another Frenzy Blade here, and that is the end of Fluffy. I'm very, very glad that I had a Choice Specs, like a really powerful special type move there. Otherwise, that could have really stole me. Next Pokemon is going to be Ampharos. We had Mareep, we've had Fluffy, now we've had Ampharos. And I know what you're thinking. Is this a Mareep evolution team? It's not. It's actually not, because these are the only one of each. So now we got the Ampharos coming in here. It's going to be setting up a Substitute, and Substitute was literally the bane of my existence in this battle, as you'll find out. So swapping out the Meganium, might be able to use that a little bit later on, and going into Bayleaf. I can't believe this. So now we've got the Ampharos going for a Fire Punch. It's a physical set, and that does pretty good damage for me. I'm running a max health, max defensive Bayleaf. So no Everlight, of course, in this game. I gave it Leftovers as the item. That was sort of like the next best thing. Now, this set doesn't really have lots of ways to get a Ampharos behind a Substitute, but I do have Giga Drain, so I thought, well, I might be able to break the Substitute with that. I've got Leech Seed, Ingrain, Giga Drain, and Poison Powder, and it doesn't get toxic, so, Poison Powder was the best thing I could do. So Ampharos is going to go for another Fire Punch here. I think it's a 4-hit KO after Leftovers. It was going to be very, very close. I've got Giga Drain recovery, of course, as well. So going for Giga Drain on the Ampharos, and that is not going to be enough to break its Substitute, as I kind of expected that. Now, I noticed one thing as well about Leftovers recovery. If you're behind a Substitute, the Leftovers activate above the Substitute's head. This looks strange, you know what I mean? Anyway, we got a Focus Punch Ampharos. I actually seen one of these the other day. It's just, I can't believe how common this set is. And now I'm going to go for another Giga Drain here, right? Hoping I can break the Substitute on the Ampharos, and I faded it. So I was like, great. So at least if this does faint here, I can bring something in else against the Ampharos. So Ampharos is going to pop a Focus Punch here, and wait, it doesn't even have fists. It's got it's just like an appendage. There's no fingers, no nothing. So what does it do to actually clench a fish, you know what I mean? Regardless there, we're going to get a couple Leftover recovery here, and I'm thinking, well, Ampharos might be able to get another Substitute off here, and it's just going to go for Fire Punch, finish off my Bayleaf. So that's okay. I can bring in another Pokemon to do some damage. Now, I do have my Meganium from earlier on, and I still got a couple of Frenzy Plants left, so I don't think one Frenzy Plant will take Ampharos out, but then I was thinking, wait, I can bring in my Chikorita. Let's give this a little go, right? Now, this is my Chikorita, the counter sets. It's hopefully they'll go for a Fire Punch. I'll try and bait that out. I've got Leaf Storm Protect, Overgrowth Flail counters it. It's actually pretty good. Hopefully I'll go for a Fire Punch and Air Frost goes for a substitute. So I'm very, very sad about that, right? Extremely sad. I'm crying right now because Air Frost has got a free substitute up, and you know, even if it attacks me with a physical move, I am not going to be able to take it out. I'll only be able to break this up. So swapping out my Chikorita, I can't believe it. And now I'm going to go into my Chikorita number 2. Now the Air Frost is going to go for a Focus Punch here, and since I swapped, it tightened its focus beyond the sub, and now it's going to punch me again with no fist or anything. And this is my bulky Chikorita. Oh, look how tanky this is. The EV spread on this Chikorita is max health and max defense. Like, grass types always make good defensive walls. Like, I feel like they're much better than special. So I've got a Light Clay, Light Screen Reflect, Nature Power Swagger set. I'll be real with you. I really can't do a lot at the moment. So I thought, well, I could set up the Reflect here. That'll be helpful. I lived a Fire Punch, which was actually pretty impressive. And now I'm going to throw that Reflect up. I thought this could be handy for, like, my Meganium when I swap it in, something like that. And, well, I might be able to go for a Nature Power. That's about it to do any damage to substitute. But, you know, it's going to be able to outspeed me and take me out with any move. So it's got Thunder Punch as its other move. It's very, very disrespectful taking me out with a Thunder Punch with a Reflect up. And not very effective. Come on! So that's the end of my Chikorita. So I've lost a Meganium and a Chikorita. And I've got a Meganium, Chikorita, and, wait, no, that's a Bayleaf, not a Meganium. What am I talking about? I can't believe it. Now, next Pokemon is going to be my physical Meganium. This is one of the best sets on my team. I've got a Sword Dancing Meganium. It's got Earthquake, Petal Blizzard, and Iron Tail. Little bit of limited coverage, but Earthquake's going to do really good. I've got Max Speed, Jolly Nature, and Max Attack, Geo, so I can outspeed some stuff, right? So outspeeding Air Frost, which, let's be real, doesn't take too much, and that's going to break the substitute. Now, Air Frost is going to be going for a Fire Punch here. That does, you know, very, very underwhelming damage to Meganium. Obviously, it's a physical Air Frost, so you wouldn't expect too much damage there, right? I was actually a little bit worried about a burn there, and it didn't happen, so I'm happy with that. Now the Air Frost is going to swap out, and Shroomish is going to come in, and this thing was like, you thought Air Frost was a pain? This thing was like even more of a pain. So go for Earthquake there. Obviously, it's going to do hardly any damage to Shroomish because it resists it. Now, Shroomish has also got leftovers as well. So my options were to go for the Sword Dance and then go for the Iron Tail, because I thought they'd be running some sort of bulky set. So getting that Sword Dance up, got a juicy +2 at attack, and Shroomish is now going to go for a substitute. Oh, not another substitute. So also, I'll say one thing that's interesting too. If you notice how small Shroomish's substitute is, the substitute doll in battles is actually relevant to the size of the Pokemon, which is really, really interesting. Like, that's all I can think of, because I've seen a lot of Pokemon use substitute, and that's the only thing I can really think of there. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, if you had a really big Pokemon, would the substitute doll be, like, massive, you know? Like, I've got to try that. Maybe if, like, I don't know, Wailord or something like that. I have to check what, like, Pokemon actually gets substitute. So go for Iron Tail there. It was really my only option because Petal Blizzard and Earthquake were resisted, and I break the sub. So I'm like, okay, great. The only bad thing about Iron Tail is its shaky accuracy of 75. Like, if I can connect an Iron Tail against a Shroomish, it'll do good damage, especially because, you know, it doesn't have Everlight. It's got leftovers. Thank God this doesn't have Everlight, because this would be even worse, right? So now Shroomish is going to avoid my Iron Tail and set up another substitute here. So this is going to be another round of me trying to break the substitute. So essentially here, what I need to do is I need to break the substitute. I need to land an attack first to break the substitute. Then right after that, I need to go for another attack and then, you know, do some damage to Shroomish. So 1, take it out, or 2, make it so it can't substitute, like it's on like a 2-match, you know, lower man health. Now, since there are the reflectors up there, the Drain Punch wasn't doing much damage, but Reflect, you know, when that goes, this will be able to do more damage to me, and it'll be able to get more health back. Now, the item I had on my Meganium was Citrus Berry 2. That was definitely going to help there. That was there purely, say if I come across a Pokemon that it wasn't hitting me with a super effective move, but it was very, very powerful. I could essentially go for Sword Dance, take a big hit, you know, Citrus Berry sort of recovers that back a bit, so I'm not on like a ridiculously low amount of health for like a priority move to finish me off the next turn, and, you know, try and sweep from there. That was the whole idea there. So I was also thinking about running Lumberry on there too in case I got burned, but yeah, I guess the Citrus Berry worked out most of the time there. I mean, there's a couple of times I got burned, but most of the time, you know, worked well. So Iron Tail is going to miss another 1,000 times. At this stage, I was thinking, you know what? I should just go for, like, you know, like Petal Blizzard or something like that, you know, because even though it resisted, it should be able to break this up, and at least I won't miss there. I was just sort of like, I was getting really salty about this like substitute and this Shroomish. Like, I got stalled out by Ampharos, and this thing like stalled the hell out of me. So finally, Shroomish is exposed. It's gonna punch me there. It doesn't even have any hands. Like, this is actually kind of interesting, right? Ampharos has used Focus Punch. It doesn't have a fizz. Shroomish, it doesn't even have an arm. It's got little legs, but doesn't have an arm at all. So unless it's like hiding them underneath it, but I very, very much doubt that. Now Iron Tail is finally going to connect there, and Shroomish still lives. I'm like, what the hell? Now it's going to go for another Drain Punch there. Meganium is starting to get quite low on health, but I can go for a Petal Blizzard and finish Shroomish off finally. Like, I swear, the Ampharos and Shroomish matchups, it literally took, I'd say, at least half the battle, just this Meganium versus both those Pokemon. So go for the Petal Blizzard, and Shroomish is finally down there. I'm so happy for that to go there. I don't even want to think about if that had ever, like, that would have been scary. So next Pokemon is going to do the Breloom here. It's like, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to go for the Petal Blizzard. Once again, I don't have much to hit it with. It's not very effective. Does good damage, though. I could have gone for an Iron Tail, but I didn't want to risk it. We all know what was going to happen there. So we got a Breloom here with a Hyper Beam, and I think it's going to be Beam Loom, which is Hyper Beam and Solar Beam. It was like a meme many years ago. Someone brought a it was in a multi-battle, right? And they bought a Breloom called Beam Loom, right? And it had Solar Beam and Hyper Beam. It was an amazing name and an amazing set. So if you were the person that originally brought that and you're still watching these videos, well, you're the MVP, right? So I went for a Frenzy Plant here. Unfortunately, it's going to miss against Breloom. I went for another Frenzy Plant, and unfortunately, it's going to miss again. And now Breloom's going to get another substitute on. This is the third substitute. Like, what's going on here? So the only problem here was I didn't have lots and lots of moves to actually hit the, these Pokemon. They resisted a lot of the moves like Breloom and Shroomish and stuff like that. So swapping out my Meganium and going into Bayleaf now. Now we've got the Breloom going for another Hyper Beam here. Now this is my special Bayleaf. I've got max health, max special defense. As you can see, they did nothing to me, and I've also got leftovers too. That was a crit too, by the way. Not that, not that Breloom's special attack has anything to write home about, right? So anyway, I got leftovers too. I'm going to get some decent recovery from that. And I've got on my moveset, I was thinking, like, what can I do to this? I was like, I thought actually to swap it. That's right. I was thinking to swap it in to take the Hyper Beam damage and then swap into another Pokemon because I had nothing on that set to hit the substitute doll with, right? So anyway, we got some more recovery on the Breloom. Like, I was like so sick of substitute after this battle. Like, I was literally like, this is literally substitute doll simulated for 20 minutes. So I'm going to go for a Giga Drain here. It's my only option, so I don't have to recharge. And it broke this up. I'm like, thank goodness for that. Now I'm going to get some more health recovery back here. Breloom only really has Hyper Beam. I don't know what other moves it's got than Hyper Beam and Solar Beam. And the only thing I have to worry about maybe is a critical hit, but I know that I can live that because Meganium's pretty thick there, right? So pretty good damage to Hyper Beam, I've got to say. And I can go for Giga Drain, then I can go for another Giga Drain to take it out. So that was the plan right here. So we got 3 minutes left in this battle. Breloom is just going to hang on, unfortunately. Obviously, it resists all of my moves. Instead of go for Frenzy Plant, because Frenzy Plant missed, and that sort of was that caused this trouble to begin with, I guess you could say, because the Iron Tail that caused the substitute trouble with the Shroomish, right? So we're gonna go for a final Giga Drain here, and that is the end of Breloom. Thank goodness. Like, I'm getting trolled so hard here, right? Now we've got around 2 to 2.5 minutes left of the battle. We got an Ampharos left, and I've actually got a Chikorita, a Bayleaf, and a Meganium left. Last Pokemon is Magcargo, and I don't really want to go for Giga Drain here. I want to sort of conserve that, because I want to have, I'd like Frenzy Plant, to be honest. Bringing back in my Bayleaf here, it's going to go for a Shell Smash. So I don't know whether this is going to be a physical or a special at this stage, but I need to take it out because it's going to get rid of at least the last couple of Pokemon. I was actually low-key hoping that Chikorita could beat it with counter, because if it was a physical set, then we'd have to play some counter Shell Smash mind games. And I had another strategy I could use as well. So I went for Giga Drain here. That's my best move. It will still do a fair lot. And now it's going to go for Incinerate. And that is that's the end of my Bayleaf. So bye-bye Bayleaf. I thought, well, this is a prime time to bring in Chikorita, because obviously I can't use counter, but I got an idea that I could use, because I've got Leaf Storm as well, and I thought I might be able to make use of that. So we got 57 seconds of the battle. Rock Slide has missed. They were going for a scumbag, an actual scumbag flinch set. It was also a mix set too to troll me. I wish I went for counter there. and a bit of mist anyway, so it was a good thing. I went for that. It did take out the Magcargo there. Magcargo's going to pop an Incineroar. I mean, an Incinerate. Incineroar's not even in this game. I went for a Disrespect Flail here on 1 health, and I sort of paid the Magcargo back there for not getting the counter. So that's Magcargo down. The last Pokemon is Ampharos. Ampharos will be able to take out my Chikorita here, and it's going to be a Meganium and Ampharos matchup. Pretty good damage there by the Flail. I don't know who would have won there, but it would have been very close. I believe I still had Troxbeck's Frenzy play there. Even Giga Drain, I feel I would have won that matchup if I just went for Giga Drain, because I would have done damage and I would have got health recovery. It would have been interesting anyway, but that's the end of the game there. Since the time is up here, what happens when the time is up? You don't even get a choice to pick a move. It just goes communicating the time has run out, battle's over. That's it. But thank you for the battle there, Köttmeistern. A very, very close and a very, very long battle too. Like, those substitutes, holy smokes. Let's get on to battle number 2 here. We got a battle against May, and this was also another very long battle. Now, the team preview of this team very, very much scared me, because it was like a Gengar in there, and there was another Pokemon too I was really worried about too. I'm trying to take my shirt off at the moment because it's like super hot here. Like, so just bear with me for a sec, all right? Just got to get it over my head. There we go. It's Australia. It's hot, all right? You've got to give me an excuse. So go for Leech Seed there on the Gengar. I've got the seeds planted, and I'm poisoned by Toxic, which is very, very unfortunate, because this is a sort of a stalling Bayleaf, so I'm going to not last for very long with Toxic. Now, the Gengar is going to go for a curse here, so like, oh no, this is very bad. So Gengar's put a curse on my Bayleaf, if you can Bayleaf that, and it's taken away half its health. It's also got a Citrus Berry too, so it's going to be able to use curse again, so I'm guessing that's their strategy, yeah? Now, I went for Ingrain this turn, so I locked myself in on a curse. I didn't know that it was going to happen, so I thought, well, since I'm Toxic, I may as well have like the Ingrain going, the leftovers going, and the Leech Seed all at once. That'll, maybe starve off the Toxic for like 2 extra turns or something like that. It starts to rack up a lot. Maybe 2 to 3 extra turns. The problem here is Curse is going to do a quarter of my health every single time, so that's virtually negated at this stage. Now Giga's going to swap out. I can't swap because I'm locked in by my roots, and Drifloon's going to come in. These are 2 Pokemon that are really good against my team. Liking that shiny, fresh Drifloon then. Now, Drifloon, any flying type move is going to cause me a lot of hassle here. I kind of want to get a Leech Seed up against that. That'll be very good. Just for some extra damage there. Not that, it's going to be better than Giga Drain, because Giga Drain's doing nothing. So I'm going to get all my recovery here for both those moves, and then I'm going to take a round of Toxic, and then I'll take a round of Curse. And putting my Bayleaf, it's going to put it well below half health, So much animations at the moment. It was like leftovers, Curse, Toxic damage, and Giga Drain recoveries. It was like going for ages here. So now Drifloon's going to blow me away with a gust. And yeah, that's the end of Bayleaf. So it was super effective. So that's very, very mean. This is bad. How am I going to deal with this Gengar and this Drifloon? So swapping in Chikorita now, something's got to give here, right? I thought, well, I might be able to set up a light screen, and then it uses Astonish. It's a mixed troll set. And I was thinking, oh no. So instead of setting up the light screen, I actually changed my mind there to use Swagger. So I thought, if I can get 6 Swaggers up on Drifloon, because at that stage I thought they were running an only special set, I thought it could hit itself and take itself out. In Confusion, that'd be really, really fun. The bad thing is that that's actually powered up its Astonish. And Astonish has a 30% chance to flinch as well, which is very, very bad. Especially, when you're using when you're versing a Drifloon, you can't do much of it. So I decided I might as well take a full risk here because it's going to hit itself in Confusion eventually, hopefully. And then I can get like 3 Swaggers up. It'll have +6 in attack and just, one-shot itself. Maybe not one-shot itself, but do a lot. It's going to get through that and use the Drifloon Astonish again, and that's doing a lot of damage. Here's the 3rd Swagger. I'm surprised I actually didn't miss there. Now it's got +6 in attack. And it's got the Confusion. I'm hoping it hits itself in Confusion right here. And it's going to get another Astonish off here. And that is almost the end of my Chikorita. I finally get a Reflect up here because I knew things are going really, really bad there. It didn't hit itself and it snapped out of Confusion. That was just bad luck right there. So the other move it's got is Charge Beam. So it's got +6 in attack. It's got the ability to boost its special attack by Charge Beam. And it's got Gust. So I'm like, this is very bad. Charge Beam's not going to do much for my team, but, Gust and Astonish will be annoying. So swapping in Meganium here, I do have Ancient Power. That's going to be my only way to hit it with. And then they swapped out. So like, okay, well, at least I don't have to deal with that. And out comes Stick Puss. All right, okay, I nearly said something else there. And anyway, we're going to go for Ancient Power here. Now, Ancient Power would be great to get a boost against this, but, you know, it's a normal type Pokemon. It's not going to do a lot of damage, so I got to swap out. Now I'm going to go into Bayleaf here, if you can believe it, and it's going to go for Sand Attack. Oh, no. This is very, very bad. So Sand Attack is going to drop my accuracy here. And now it's going to go for a Last Resort. Last Resort does, you know, very underwhelming damage to me, but that's okay. That's another story. I'm going to go for Leech Seed here. At least I've got Leech Seed up here, so if I don't land any more moves, I got a feeling with Sand Attack, I might be struggling landing moves. So I was happy to get that one Leech Seed up there. And even, you know, even if I can live a couple more, you know, when the Reflect wears off, it's going to hit me pretty hard. If I can live a couple more turns, and, you know, I could swap something in else then to actually take it out. So here comes another Last Shot. Holy smokes, that did some damage to me with a critical hit. Almost took me out. I was like, man, this is bad. Like, this is very, very bad. So I'm going to miss my attack there due to the Sand Attack earlier on. At least I've got Leech Seed still going for me. That's like my only saving grace at the moment. I do have leftovers as well on top of that, so I am gathering my... Wait, I don't have leftovers. This is not the leftovers set. Regardless, we got the Sand Attack on my Bayleaf again. I think that's Sand Attack number 3. Giga Drain, it actually lands this time. Like, wow, it actually landed. Not that it really did a lot of damage, but it was some extra health back for me on top of the leftovers. So we are now back to half health. I thought I nearly called it Delcated then. I thought the Pure Ugly would, or the Thick Puss would, you keep using Last Resort, but I guess they figured that it's not going to be doing that much damage because that was a crit, you know, it still didn't take me out. So they keep spamming Sand Attack over and over and over again against me. I can't even land an attack against them. Like, I think it's like the 4th like evasion in a row for that. I think that's 4 of them. Something along those lines, right? So I'm at 3/4 health right now. Leech Seed is doing a wonderful job. I know that they're trying to stall out that Reflect as well. And I'm almost back to full health here, so I'm pretty good. I know that I could probably live one unless it's a crit. So here it comes. Here's the final Last Resort there. And I lived that very, very well. The crit under the Reflect actually did way more damage than that one, which was pretty funny, actually. So getting some more leftovers recovery. Leech Seed recovery back there. I'm sorry, getting my Leech Seed and my leftovers mixed up. They're very, very similar. And that is the end of the Purugly. So I'm happy about that. But it wasn't even that threatening Pokemon. The ones that I'm worried about are Drifloon and Gengar. Like, what can I do to them outside of Leech Seed? Now, the next Pokemon to come out is called Your Mama. I know it's sort of they're trying to, like, roast me or something like that. And it's a Jinx. So Jinx has got loads of Ice-type moves. And obviously it's seen my, seen my Giga Drain. So we got it using Mean Look. So they want to trap me in here. I'm like, oh, is this something like... Obviously, it's not an offensive set, or they would have used, like, an Ice Beam or an Ice Punch or something like that. It is a trapping Perishong set. So that's literally the end for my Bayleaf, right? Even if I land a Leech Seed or land a Giga Drain crit, there's no way I'm going to be able to take this Jinx out. Now, I was wondering what they'd actually swap into to him. So I thought, well, you know, they'll probably swap out at the end of it. I can go for a Leech Seed then, maybe against one of the Pokemon. That's going to be the best thing I can do. So this Jinx has got Lick. It's got Lick, so they're trying to paralyze me. So it's a Mean Look, Lick, Perishong Jinx. So I guess with the Lick, if you try and get the paralyzed with a Lick, it's like a 30% chance. That'll maybe have a chance of stopping the opponent from attacking and, you know, adding an extra turn on to the Perishong, right? So we're down to 2 turns to the Perishong here. Oh, it's also got Lovely Kiss too. That's a mean strategy. So they've got Lovely Kiss and they've got Lick. So if you can't be put to sleep, it can still lick you and paralyze you. Very, very mean there. Jinx isn't the most bulkiest Pokemon in the world, but I'd say if you can get that initial Mean Look and Perishong off, then put the opponent to sleep, it definitely can work. I'm pretty sure I did something similar for mine. So we're down to the last turn there. It's going to go for another Lick there. They obviously don't want to swap it out, so it's going to be a double KO with the Jinx and the Bayleaf. So I'm like, okay, well, that's the end of my really bulky Bayleaf. I think the only Pokemon that could really handle that would have been the Drifloon with, like, I don't know, maybe Gust or something like that. And Drifloon actually, for a flying type Pokemon, Drifloon doesn't get that many flying type moves. Like, it'd be cool if it got something like, trying to think of a really cool, like, flying move that, like, would go. Imagine if I got Aeroblast, that'd be sick, but it's probably not going to get that because that's, like, Lugia's move. So that's a double KO there on the Jinx and the Bayleaf. Yeah, the first Bayleaf. Next Pokemon is going to be it's going to be Muck Backwards. So now we've got my Meganium here, right? I've got I probably would have liked to swap in my other one with Earthquake, but, you know, no choice there. So popping up that Hyper Beam there, and Muck is very bulky, so I expected this maybe to do just under half, and it was a crit. It's like, wow, that's going to do nothing. Now Muck is going to go for a stockpile. I'm like, I know exactly what they're doing here, all right? They're being very naughty, and they're trying to make me say bad things, right, because of the nickname, and I know what they're doing. They're going to make it, they're going to use Spit. Come on. Where do these people come from? So anyway, I'm going to keep spamming Hyper Beam here. It's my only choice. Otherwise, they're going to go for stockpile and Spit up and stuff like that. Trying to be very naughty. And I'm going to go for Hyper Beam. It doesn't take the Muck out backwards. And now it's going to go for Memento. So all they did, right, they literally used stockpile, Spit up, and then got it off the field just so I'd say that in a battle. Man, where do these people even come from? Like, I get trolled. Like, I feel like, I've got to say this, I feel like my audience may be on the verge of trolling me more than I trolled them in a battle, but I don't know yet. Oh, speaking of which, here's the shiny Dragonite. It's going to use Thunder Wave. So that's going to paralyze my Meganium. I'm locked into Hyper Beam at the moment, too. This actually was quite a mean team because there was like 3 flying-type Pokemon. So swapping out my Meganium, right? And I'm going to go into my physical Meganium. So I thought I might be able to get some sword dances up here. This is going to be a really annoying set too. It's a Thunder Wave Supersonic Dragonite. Good thing about Supersonic, if it's going to use against you, it's only 55% actually, so it's very, very bad. So here it comes, 55% actually Supersonic, and now I am confused. If I hit myself for confusion here, it's gonna be real nasty. But if I can get an attack off, it'd be great. So of course I hit myself for confusion, does a good chunk of damage to my Meganium, and now Dragonite has got me locked in a Parafusion combination with Supersonic and Thunder Wave. The joys, people, the joys. Like, I don't know, I can't come across one battle now that someone won't try and troll me. The other move it's got is Twister. That's a chance of flinching. Oh, man. Then I get paralyzed there. So we got 3 minutes left of this battle here. Dragonite is just spamming Twister at the moment. It's not doing a lot of damage, but, you know, it does have a chance of flinching. Now, my item, Citrus Berry, is going to activate here, getting me some health back, and then I go flinch. I'm like, okay, I knew that I was going to get flinched eventually. I reckon Twister should look better than that. Like, this lame. I don't know. Like, it should be a big, like, tornado twisting around there. Not like Hurricane. Maybe, I think it was, trying to remember what the Gen 4, actually Gen 4's one was really good, which is quite ironic considering we're playing a remake, but I believe Gen 4's Twister looked pretty good. So Meganium is on like a tiny little bit of health here. Like, I couldn't even do anything to Dragonite there. I hit myself twice in confusion. I got paralyzed. I got like all that sort of shit, right? So next Pokemon we got is Meganium here, right? This is the special one. I can go for Ancient Power. It's my only way to get around Dragonite, right? Now they're going to withdraw their Dragonite and they're going to bring in... Oh, they're going to try and get a curse on me. Of course they are. So Gengar's going to slide in now. I went for the Ancient Power. I was hoping that I could get like a crit or something like that. And Gengar is going to live. And is going to get a curse body. I'm like, what the hell? Now, right, I went for a struggle because I'm Choice Specs. Gengar's popped a Destiny Bond. Trying to take me out with a struggle. That would be mean, right? And struggle hits, but it doesn't take it out. It lived on 1 health the merchant of the battle. Like, you can't make this shit up. So I'm going to swap out the Meganium right there. I've got Bayleaf left and a Chikorita. 57 seconds of the battle. And I'm going to go into this. I was like, okay, I can go for a Leaf Storm and take the Gengar out, right? Now, Gengar is going to go for another Destiny Bond. It's going to fail because they did 2 in a row. Now they're going to pop an Ice Punch. It was a physical set, like, all along as well. I went for the Leaf Storm, and that is going to be enough to take out the Gengar. All that's left is a Drifblim with Gust, Astonish, and a shiny Dragonite called Pickles. Now, I don't know who would have won this matchup. Obviously, we're not going to be able to conclude the battle. Again, like the first one, so frustrating. Drifblim can take me out easily with an Astonish or a Gust, and that's, you know, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure who would have won this battle. It was kind of close because I still had my Meganium and Bayleaf left, but a very, very close game and a very long game as well. Hope you enjoyed the Chikorita Evolution team. It was very, very fun to do, and you know what? I hope I don't see the move substitute for a while. I'll catch you tomorrow for another video, people. Peace out. Have a good day or night.